Learning Objective 5 and Step 5. Use the activity-based costing to calculate product and custom margins. One of the most common management reports prepared with ABC data is product margin or product profitability reports. To calculate margin, we use sales minus total costs. The first step here is to get each product's sales and direct cost data. From the table here, we can see total sales for those two types of batteries and direct materials, direct labor, shipping costs for those two respectively, and we can get a total sales and total direct costs. The second step is to incorporate previously calculated activity-based cost assignments related to each product. In addition to direct costs, we've already assigned overhead costs to short starts and long life using ABC system. And you can see cost assignment from custom orders, design changes, and order size, activity cost pools, and we have total here. The third step is to deduct each product's total costs, both direct and indirect, from sales to calculate product margin. For sure starts, we have sales number, total costs include direct material, direct labor, shipping costs, and overhead assigned using ABC system. We can get total cost here, subtract the total cost from sales, and we can get profit margin for sure starts. 8,372,000. For long lives, we do the same thing. Sales minus total costs, including direct costs, shipping costs, and assigned overhead costs using ABC system. And we subtract the total cost from sales to get product margin. For long life battery, product margin is negative number, 1,132,000. Product margin can be reconciled with company's net operating income. Let's see here. This is what we've just calculated. Product margin is calculated from sales minus total costs. Again, total costs include both direct costs and indirect costs. And we can get total profit margins for the company. We have total sales minus total costs of those two products, and profit margins should be 7,240,000. For overhead cost assigned to short starts and long life using ABC, we assigned overhead cost from custom orders, design changes, and order size activity cost pools. But for customer relations and other, we did not assign them to products. And to reconcile product margins with the company's net operating loss, then we should include those two costs as well. For customer relations, we can calculate. Baxter Battery has 2,000 customers. The activity rate for the customer relations is 1,540 per customer. You can go back, take a look at the previous slide. And we use activity rate multiplied by 2,000. You can get cost related to customer relations, 3,080,000. And then for the other here, we can use plug number. Remember in the beginning, we have the overhead cost table. The total overhead costs should be 22 million. So to calculate overhead cost assigned to other activity cost pool, we can use 22 million minus overhead costs assigned all those four activity cost pools. The difference should be 6,160,000. And then we add customer relations overhead cost. You can get 9,240,000 and subtract this number from profit margin for the total, and then we can get negative 2 million. This is net operating loss for the company. To calculate the customer margin, we use sales from this customer minus total costs. And let's calculate Acme Auto Parts customer margin. The first step is to get sales and direct cost data. So we have sales and direct costs incurred for this customer. These are available numbers. The second step is to incorporate Acme Auto Parts activity-based cost assignment, which we've already calculated. So on top of direct costs, we have cost assignments using ABC from customer orders, product design, order size, and customer relations. Third step, we subtract Acme Auto Parts direct and indirect costs from sales to get the customer margin. So I have total sales here minus direct costs, including direct materials, direct labor, and plus shipping costs, and plus overhead costs assigned using ABC to this customer. And we get the total cost here, and you'll get customer margin. Let's compare product margin using traditional costing and ABC. If we want to calculate the product margin using traditional costing system, such as job order costing we've learned, the second step is to calculate plant-wide overhead rate. For Baxter Battery Company, the allocation base, we will use machine hour. So to calculate predetermined overhead rate, we use total manufacturer overhead cost divided by total machine hours. And here, from the overhead table at Baxter Battery, we can get total manufacturer overhead from production department is 14 million. So 14 million is our total manufacturer overhead cost. For total level activity, machine hours used to produce short start and long life batteries, we can get 800,000 machine hours from the table which we calculated the activity rate for each cost pool. So if you go back, look at the slides, you can see total activity for machine hours, 800,000 machine hours. Or we can calculate using the table here. For short starts, 800,000 batteries ordered. For each battery, it requires 36 minutes of machine time. 36 minutes, same as 0.6 hour. So we can calculate total machine hours required for 800,000 short start battery is calculated by 800,000 multiplied by 0.6, and then we can get 480,000 machine hours. For long lives, 400,000 batteries ordered, and for each one, it requires 48 minutes of machine time, same as 0.8 hour. So we can calculate total machine hours required for long life. 400,000 multiplied by 0.8, and then we can get 320,000. We add up together, you can get 800,000 machine hour. So to calculate predetermined overhead rate or plant-wide manufacturer overhead rate, we use 14 million divided by 800,000, and then we can get 17.50. This is per machine hour. Now we can calculate allocated manufacturing cost to products. For sure start, we use overhead rate multiplied by total machine hours used, and we can get 8.4 million. For long life, we use 7.5 multiplied by 320,000, and we can get 5.6 million. And total manufacturer overhead, which should be allocated to those two products, is 14 million. Third step, we can calculate allocated manufacturer overhead to each product. For sure start, we use overhead rate 17.5 multiplied by total machine hours, and we can get allocated overhead to sure start, which should be 8.4 million. And for long life, we use 17.5 multiplied by 320,000, and then we can get 5.6 million. We add up together. This is total overhead, which should be allocated to those two products, 14 million. The fourth step is to calculate the product margins. We use sales minus total costs. Using traditional costing system, we use sales minus cost goods sold. And for cost goods sold, it includes direct materials, direct labor, and allocated manufacturer overhead. So based on information, we have sales and direct materials, direct labor, and we just calculated manufacturer overhead allocated. And we can calculate the total cost goods sold. For sure start, subtract the cost goods sold from sales, and we can get product margin. For sure start, 6.9 million. For long life, we do the same thing. Sales minus total cost goods sold, and then we can get a product margin 2.1 million. We can also get a total product margin 9 million. For other costs incurred by the company, there are shipping costs, marketing expenses, and general administrative expenses. In the traditional costing system, all those expenses should be reported as selling and administrative expenses. So we add up together as expense 11 million. We subtract 11 million from product margin. Net operating loss, same, negative 2 million. However, if we take a look at margin, that's different between ABC and a traditional costing system. For product margins under traditional system, sure starts 6.9 million, long life 2.1, both are positive numbers. But under ABC system, product margin for sure start positive, 8,372,000, but long life, this is negative, 1,132,000. And you can see the difference here. So if we use traditional costing system, it overcosts sure starts and reports lower product margin for this product. But for long life battery, traditional costing system undercosts long life and reports higher product margin for this product. So those are differences. In summary, let's take a look at why there's a difference between ABC and the traditional costing system. There are 3 reasons. The first reason, ABC only assigns manufacturer overhead costs consumed by products to those products, but traditional costing system allocates all manufacturer costs to products. In particular, ABC does not assign organization sustaining costs or idle capacity to products. Second, ABC system uses both volume-related and non-volume-related allocation basis to assign manufacturer overhead to products. In our example, the Baxter battery uses design change, customer relations, but traditional costing system only uses volume-related allocation base, such as machine hours or labor hours. Third, ABC system directly traces non-manufacturer overhead to products if they can be easily traced to products, such as shipping costs. But traditional costing system treats non-manufacturing costs as period costs. So all non-manufacturing costs, including selling and administrative costs, will be expensed right away.